information on this being recorded and so on. Further questions we will take up later as well. And then I would go to the agenda. Yes, we would have the third-party funding as a first topic, then Horizon Europe funding, and then where and how to find further support as an SME and the Q&A session. Yes, so this is where I would stop and hand over to my colleague Alejandra, and she would then now start sharing her slides.
You can see it now, right?
Yes, perfectly. Thank you so much.
Okay, good. So good morning to everybody. Thank you for your interest in this webinar. So today we will talk about some funding opportunities for SME at a European level. Yeah, here just to clarify, of course, at a regional and national level, you have other funding opportunities, but here we just want to show you an overview of the ones funded by the European Commission. The first one that I just want to go through again with you, and you have already experienced, is the so-called financial support to third parties. And this is the one that you already participated in the Metabuilding project. But in general, there are several European projects that include this financial support for SMEs. And the idea of this program is that the project partners, they receive the funding and they do the administration and the organization of the calls, as it was in the case of Metabuilding. And the advantage that this has is that it's faster and is easier and more straightforward as participating directly in other of the funding opportunities. The companies can have a maximum financial support of 60,000 euros, but this depends on the specific third-party funding. So you already have received, I understand, some in the Metabuilding project. So if you find another one that is interesting for you, I will recommend that you contact the coordinator of that program and you ask about it. So the information you can find it in the funding and tenders portal from the Commission. Here I have a screenshot that I did this week. Currently, I don't see any open call in the similar topic of Metabuilding, but you can check regularly because as new projects are starting, so this is changing constantly. And here, if you go to the website, you can open the information and you can see all the details. So that will be our free suggestions to keep an eye on the third-party fundings and inform yourself is probably an opportunity for you. The next funding opportunity that we want to present in general is the Horizon Europe program. So this is the research and innovation program from the European Commission that is running from year 2021 to 2027 and has a total budget of 95.5 billion euros. This program is divided in different sections, but one section that I want to present now that is interesting for companies because they can participate is the Pillar 2, Global Challenges and European Industrial Competitiveness. So this pillar consists of several clusters, thematic clusters. They are here in this slide. The first one is about health. The cluster 2 is culture, creativity, and inclusive societies. The third one, civil security for society. And probably the last three are more interesting thematic for you is cluster 4 is digital industry and space, 5 climate, energy and mobility, and 6 food, bioeconomy, natural resources, agriculture and environment. And this Pillar 2 has a total budget of 53.5 billion euros. You can see in this table how is the distribution of the budget of in each cluster. So cluster 4 and 5, they have the highest amount assigned for the the activities in these clusters, followed by cluster 6. So how does this work? So each year the open calls are published for each of these clusters in the website from the European Commission and the Funding and Tenders portal. So I show you. So you can go to the portal and here select the grants. So tenders is probably not interested for you, and we select only the one that are open for submission and the one that are coming. In the program, so the one that we are presenting you is the Horizon Europe program. And here you can see these are again the 6 clusters. So let's say that you are interested in this cluster here. So you can have a list of all of the open calls that are available, and you can also type some keywords, for example, construction, and you can find this. So I take as an example for this workshop this innovative cost solution for zero emission buildings that you can see that is one call that belongs to the cluster 5. So if you go to the website of each call, you have several information. First, you can see the information about the program and the call, the type of action. So there are 3 types of action I will explain later, and also the model of the call. This one I also explain you later, and the opening date and deadline date. Also important for you is the topic description, which includes the outcome and the scope. And this is very important to read it very carefully, because this is exactly what is expected for the project proposals. Also, you have the documents, so the information of the general condition that where you can read the details. And in additional documents, you can find the specific description of the work program. For example, this one is for this and next year. And in this document, you can go and find the information about the budget that is assigned for the call and how many projects are planned to be funded. So this is the structure as the call, as I just explained. So that's the topics that you can check if you can find any interesting topic for you. As I mentioned it before, the type of actions in Horizon Europe are 3. The first one is the so-called research and innovation action, or RIA. The activities in this action aim to establish new knowledge and to explore the feasibility of a new or improved technology, product, process, service, or solution. And some examples of activities that you can carry out in this type of action is basic and applied research, technology development and integration, testing and validation on a small-scale prototype in a lab environment. So here, important that we are talking about activities at technology readiness levels from 1 to 4. So it's at the very beginning of the conception and development of a technology or an idea. And the expected EU funding rate in this type of project is 100%. The next one is the so-called innovation action, or IA, and this go like a step forward. So here the aim is to produce plans and arrangements or designs for new, alter, or improve product, process, or services. For example, prototyping, testing, demonstrating, and piloting, and also large-scale product validation and market replication. In this case, we are talking about technology readiness level from about 4, and sometimes it depends on the call, but it's expected to take it to a level of 7 or 8. In this case, because we are talking about activities that are close to market, only a 70% funding rate is given to companies, and this is because it's also expected some kind of interest of the company, because you are talking about activities that are very close to a final product. The exception is 100% for non-profit organizations, for example, universities or research institute, they receive 100%. And the last type of action is coordination and support action, or CSA. And this consists of accompanying measures such as standardization, dissemination, awareness, raising and communication, networking, and coordination or support services, and also policy dialogues. So as a conclusion, you can find these 3 types of activities in the several calls from the Horizon Europe funding scheme. I also want to present you general about the proposal content and structure of this type of calls. So the proposal has to consist of 2 parts. The first part is more like an administrative information, and this is done online in the portal from the European Commission. Here you have to give some information about the project, like the name, keywords, and a small abstract. Also, the participant information, the details of the budget distribution that you are planning. And there are also some questions about ethics and security, and other questions like a gender question that you have to fill in this part. The second part, that is called part B, is the technical part of the proposal. And this consists of 3 parts: the excellence, the impact, and quality and efficiency of the implementation. In the excellent part, you have to include your objectives and ambition of the project, and also a detailed description of the methodology. And the impact is the description of the project pathways toward impact, measured to maximize the impact, and also a summary of the key elements. And the third part include the detailed work plan and resources that you are planning for your project, and also the description of the capacity of all participants and consortium as a whole. But as I mentioned, it is very important to inform about the specific condition in each call description that is in the website, as I show you. In general, there are 2 types of application, one called one stage, and this means that the application is done with a full proposal. In the section B that I explained, that is the technical part, this is normally the RIA and IA actions are about 45 pages is how long the proposal has to be, but this also depends of the type of calls. We have worked on calls that they ask for 70 pages because there has to be a more detailed description. And the coordination and support action are about 30 pages. They are also the so-called 2-stage application. This means that in the first stage, you have to submit a short version of your concept, of their pages, and if they are evaluated, if you are accepted, then you receive an invitation to participate in the second stage, and there you have to submit the full proposal. As mentioned, the application must be submitted electronically via the funding attendance portal before the deadline specified in the call description. So this one, what I presented, is very short and very general, how the Horizon Europe funding scheme works. But I know that for a small company, an SME, to organize the writing and to prepare this type of project, it can be probably not possible, because it is quite an effort to prepare this. So now I just want to show you some options that you have as an SME if you are interested in participating thematic in one of these projects. The first thing that you can do is to go to the partner search announcement. That this is a section that is included in the call description. Here you can see and publish your expertise and also offers and requests, and you can contact organization. And to do this, to contact the organization and to publish your information, you have to register in the EC portal, but this is very easy and straightforward. You can do it easily. So for this, I want to show you, going back to our example of this call in cluster 5. If you go here, you can see that there is this section, partner search and announcement. In this case, we have 76 searches of partners, and you can go to this section. And here there is the list of several institutions that they are already looking for partners, or they request some kind of expertise. For example, here you can select request. And yeah, let's take this as an example. These partners, you can see the description of the partners, and also here there is some information in which European projects this company or institution has already participated, and also all the announcements that they have done. So you can here take a look, and if you think, yes, this is an interesting topic and I will like to get in contact and ask if probably there is an opportunity to join a consortium, because normally in European projects, it is necessary to include partners from the industry. So probably if you're lucky, they will be willing to that you join the proposal. So this is something that you can easily go look for the calls, the topics that are interesting for you, and see if you can contact some of the people from the partner search announcement. The second support institution that you can contact is the so-called national contact points. These are support structures that have been established in all the member states, and they help participants to access to different European program opportunities. You can go here, you can find the link, and you can select the one of your region. And they can also give you more detailed information, not only about the Horizon Europe, but probably they are also, there's European opportunities, and they can let you know the information. Yeah, another also important support structure is the Enterprise Europe network. This is the world's largest support network for SMEs and is active worldwide. And this brings together experts from member organizations that they have experience in business support. Here I also have the link For the local contact points, you can go to the website and see which one is the one in your region. Some of the services from the EEN, so they have several services. The one that we are talking about is access to EU funding, but as mentioned, it's in general business support. So if you have also other questions, I will recommend that you go to the website and take a look. What else can they do for you? About access to EU funding, they can help you to identify the most suitable funding program for your project, and support you to the process of devising your project and also applying for funding and implementing your project. Also very important to find the right research partner for your project, and also advice on business innovation, intellectual property, and more. This is, for example, if you are interested in participating in a EU project and collaborate with other partners, but you have some concerns about the intellectual property of the technologies that you are developing, for example. Yeah, and the last support organization is that you can look for companies or institutions in your regions that are working on this type of activities. And I can give you an examples of ourselves, or Steinbeis Europa Zentrum. We are a consulting company that supports innovators like companies or research institutions to participate in international projects. We have more than 30 years experience. We have done about 500 clients consultations a year and about 70 EU projects a year. We have several services, and one of them includes what we are talking now, that is the path to EU funding. As I give you an example of the services that we can offer. We have can offer support in proposal conception, so the analysis of the calls, as I presenting you already, but very general, but we can do it more in depth. Also to analysis of the role of different partners in the value chains, research of also identifying important project partners, and organization of the workshops where we can develop further your concept, and examination of funding eligibility. For the proposal formulation, we can support you with the administrative part of the proposal, like the application submission forms, and also for the formulation and proofreading of the different parts of the technical proposal that I mentioned. And just to final as a short example of this is one Horizon Europe proposal that started last year, where Steinbeis formulated the proposal and also supported the partners to develop the concept. And yes, it's a cluster 5 project with a European contribution of 5 million euros. So just for you to have an example of that. Good. So with this, I finalized this very short overview about this specific European funding, and yeah, I'm glad to start the discussion. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Alejandra. And yeah, we already have one question in the chat. And then I would just ask Vincent, maybe to raise it if you want to, or I can read it as well. Maybe just let me know in the chat, or unmute yourself and just ask it.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Do you hear me?
Yes, of course. Yes.
Yes, excellent. Thank you. Do these EENs, for example, your EEN, do they usually take a certain percentage of the funding sum to cover their costs of their, services, or are they usually paid upfront by the SME, or how does the payment of these EENs usually work? Thank you.
So this is the EENs are supported also by the European Commission. So some of the services I know. So Steinbeis is, for example, in the region also EEN, and some of the services they are free of charge. I know that the first consulting. To say the first appointment, you can go there and it's free of charge. I don't know the specific what other services they can provide, but yeah, you can contact them and ask. But as I told you, some of the services they are funded by the commission, so they should be free of charge.
So Steinbeis would be free of charge, for example.
But something is important to know that is a regional level. So we are only allowed to work with companies in our region in Baden-Württemberg. So you have to look for the one that is for your region.
But there is the network is really big. On the EN website, you can directly see which company would be on the EN website available and responsible for you, so you can consult them.
Okay.
So there's a big network. Yeah, perfect. And there, Austria definitely is in the EN network.
Yes.
They're quite big, and they should be. And it's very transparent what they say, what services they offer, and whatnot. And they are also very responsive. Do we have other questions? Do you have anything else you want to raise with us or discuss with us? And yeah, Alejandra, you're very fast. So we have the Austrian contact point now already, and we had one question as well before. If you could put the links already in there for the example you had. Maybe that people can click on it, because sometimes it's easier to then directly click and try it out yourself. So that, but they will be also definitely in the PDF we will share with you, so that you can, also afterwards see what was the information and what was this link for and what was this link for example. And so we will share them with you in the next week, the slides, and we hope that they will be helpful. And the question, now the question is, do you want to discuss something? Do you have other questions? Was this helpful for you? Do you know to congest every information now still, because it's always a lot if you receive it and if you go through, are not in the driver's seat and talking about, as Alejandra said, was now talking about information. We process a lot, but need to really see which information goes in which direction. So maybe if there's other questions, we are happy to address them. Put them in the chat. You don't need to unmute yourself. We know that not everyone is comfortable, even if we're used to the online surroundings. So was this helpful for you? Maybe some reactions in the chat. Yeah, okay. Thank you. Then Alejandra, maybe I'll but there is other companies also in FFG.
So just to clarify, so we as a EEN is only regional, but as a company, of course we can work with companies all around Europe, but there is not this free of charge options of that, but we can, of course, you can contact us and let us know your ideas, and we can discuss which possibilities we have.
And I wanted to take the time also to let you know, I addressed the question about the final reports before. There was one in the chat as well. So the final reports for the Metabuilding project, yes, normally the deadline would be today, but you can definitely also reach out to Alejandro, Adele, who asked for them if you need a prolongation. So that would be great. Just address it with him bilaterally if there is any more leeway for the presentations and the final reports. And yeah, so we have this innovation for Steinbeis. We have the innovation potential also to see and check with you if you have ideas and bring them in. You can just reach out to us. So that would mean I would suggest now, and what I wanted to have, what I wanted to raise was, of course, the Metabuilding platform is important for us in the Metabuilding framework and project we are working with. So if you have not registered or are on the platform yet, register to the platform, because this will be kind of an evolving ecosystem for the construction sector. So list your services there and your opportunities, and also search for partners there. This is also an opportunity where you can find partners, where you can find other projects that are interesting or interested in you and in your services, so that you reach the whole ecosystem in the Metabuilding framework. And as well, keep in touch with us, because we, as Alejandra already said and posted here, are also a potential partner to see if there is projects we can do together in the international framework. And for the EEN funding opportunities, of course, there you should look for your local partners or your regional partners on the website. But maybe Alejandra, could you share the whole EN? But I think it's in the presentation, right? Just the EN website with the, it's maybe easier to find.
The home, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and so this was a short webinar for you, and I hope you enjoyed it. We were looking forward for you to be in touch. And yeah, with this, I think we can wish you all a great Friday, and yeah, hopefully an early start into the weekend, because yeah, it has been a full week for all of us potentially. I assume so, and I think, yeah, this was kind of a really quick and fresh webinar for a Friday. So thank you so much, Alejandra, as well for your
Thank
inputs.
you all, and also I wish you like good luck finishing your reports. And yeah, thank you for the attention.
Yeah, and thank you for being part of the Metabuilding project. We're really looking forward also to present all your cases now in Metabuilding events that are happening right now in different countries. So that's also very important that we, yeah, can be vocal about your projects and share the information about the winners and have them on the website, so that you get some traction as well on that. Yeah, thank you so much, and I hope you have a great and wonderful week. And so then I would stop the webinar, and yeah, goodbye. Thank you so much.